I spent the last month entirely crossing Laos and Cambodia by land in several buses, ferries and tuk-tuks. It was an impressive time and I'm grateful for the people I met and the places I've seen in these countries. Now we're leaving Cambodia and crossing to Vietnam at the southernmost tip in Ha Tien. After arrival at the pier in Sihanoukville, the bus that was supposed to bring me to the Vietnamese border simply didn't show up. So a few hours later, I find myself in the most worn-down private van I've seen on my entire trip so far, between fermented fish and rattling windows. It was a race against time, since the border was about to close. And 20 minutes before they really did, I finally arrived after another 4 hours on this bus.
Da ist hier die Grenze zu Ha Tien. Es ist 7 Uhr morgens. Alter, was ist hier auf der Straße los schon? Aber auch witzigerweise noch keinen Touristen gesehen. Dabei geht's doch hier nach Phu Quoc.
I immersed myself in the hustle and bustle of the morning market and walked through the streets of Ha Tien for a while. I watched some of the local wildlife living in perfect harmony with us humans. Ha Tien is a small city in the Mekong Delta, but like the last time, I just used the city as a hub. To immigrate into Vietnam and to board the speed ferry to Phu Quoc. It's a short 1.5 hour ferry ride to get to the island, which, just like Koh Rong in Cambodia, is situated in the Gulf of Thailand. I booked a cheap guest house in the central part of the island this time to avoid some expensive taxi rides. And this is what my room looked like. I was curious to find out how the island had changed in the last 5 years, and with only a few clouds in the sky, I headed out into the town.
Chinesische Medizin, würde ich sagen. Flug kommt.
It felt good to be back, and coming to the beach, it was almost about time for the sun to set. So I looked for a cozy beach bar to see the sky turn from purple to red over the ocean. The sunsets in the Gulf of Thailand never fail to amaze me. Walking the streets of Phu Quoc in the evening hours has an amazing vibe to it.
Ganz normaler Bürgersteig hier.
Though it is clearly not built for pedestrians. A little reminder that it was Christmas time.
Seeigel. Was ist hier nicht Thank you. Banana pancake Nutella.
I had walked all the way to the night market, trying to find this amazing rooftop bar we had been to on our last trip.
Das hier irgendwie, das war der Loving Hut, glaube ich. Ich glaube, das da oben war's. Das war's hier. Da bin ich ziemlich sicher.
Vì dại khờ anh thu mình cho suy tư của em. Dù muốn sống
So kannst du dich Karaoke auch anhören.
A little disappointed that the place had shut down, I walked back to the area of my guest house and accidentally stumbled into another place I remembered from 5 years ago. So I sat down, had a drink and listened to some live music.
Fahrrad schön mit Sonnencreme eingecremt. Vielleicht hätte ich mal gucken sollen. Ja, dann wäre es 20 vor 9. Zeit abgegrenzt. Weil es ja morgen so krass geregnet hat. Quasi keine Sau am Strand. Da läuft ein Pärchen. Und die Vietnamesen selbst.
I took it slow the next day and didn't do anything exciting. But you don't need to have exciting activities every day. Sometimes it is sufficient to just be in these places and take them in.
Bisschen grau ist heute. So, ich versuche jetzt das zweite Mal das Haus Number 1 zu finden. Ich bin gespannt. Die haben mir vorhin geantwortet, sie seien umgezogen. Wir gucken jetzt mal. Ist halt schon eine Ecke, ne? So 3,5, 4 Kilometer. Einfache Richtung.
And so I walked back to the night market with the bar's new address and tried to find it again.
Haus Number 1, Alter, das gibt's doch noch. Da sind wir.
But it turned out I was way too early and they were just about to open the place. So I decided to go for some food instead.
He's so cute!
On my way, I ran into a couple from Sweden who were on the search for food as well.
A handful of dog.
And so we teamed up to get some dinner and finished the evening in the Blue Monkey Bar. The next morning I enjoyed a few hours at the beach before I would have had to take my ferry back to Ha Tien to get the bus to Can Tho. But the owners of the guest house convinced me that it would be way more convenient to take a direct flight to Ho Chi Minh City. Not only did it save a lot of time, but some money as well. Win-win, I would say. And so I arrived at the city a few days earlier than expected. But after the relaxed days on Don Dat, Koh Rong and Phu Quoc, I simply wasn't feeling the city. Too much hectic and noise.
Diese Stadt ist einfach nur Madness, Alter. Ich weiß nicht, ob ich das 2 Tage hier aushalte.
Walking around without a look on the map, I found myself on the Bui Ven Street at daytime.
Gerade raff ich erst, wo ich hier bin. Deswegen auch diese fetten Bars hier.
You cannot compare this to nighttime at the same place. That's a different story.
Hier braut sich ein bisschen was zusammen. Da hab ich gerade lecker Pho gegessen. Mega gut. Pho Wing.
I had pre-booked the hostel from Phu Quoc, but unfortunately this turned out to be a very poor choice. So I decided to use the evening to go out and explore the city streets before leaving the upcoming morning.
Das übliche Lichtermeer.
Since I wasn't really in a drinking mood, I decided to just grab some food from a street vendor and go back to the hostel.
Von mir.
I woke up early due to some Christmas songs being blasted at full volume in the hostel lobby at 6:30 in the morning. Half an hour later, I already sat on the bus to my next destination.
Das ist einer von diesen gewöhnlichen Videobussen.
Even now, you're coming up to me, fire lighting up the sky. Feel the ground shaking underneath, trying to take me alive.
Und der Motor will ständig nicht angehen. Eigentlich sollte man 1,5 Stunden da sein, aber Wie das in Asien so ist, der Bus läuft immer ab. Wir sind dann gerade auf halber Strecke. Mal gucken, wann wir ankommen. Ich glaube, da gibt es jetzt Starthilfe hier. Gerade in einer Stunde rumgedockt, da haben wir jetzt den Bus geswitcht. Der hat jetzt Ledersitz.
And slowly but surely, and as always delayed, we were back on the road again.
Jetzt weiß ich auch, warum das Moine Hills heißt. Schon eine sehr geile Anlage. Ich bin jetzt auch nicht in Backpackers. Wir sind dann in Bliss gelandet irgendwie. Aber macht ja nichts, ne? Freie Upgrades mögen wir ja. Gibt hier eiskalt 2 Pools. Da einer und da direkt noch einer.
I arrived in Phu Quoc around noon and checked out the large hostel first.
Schönes großes Bett. Hier noch eine Sitzecke. Das erste Mal auf meiner Reise habe ich sogar ein Safe und das Badezimmer. Schön sauber. Boah, nach gestern Nacht, das ist doch ein Upgrade hier. Hier mal die Demonstration einer Bumgun. Das soll mir den Hintern sauber machen. Alter, damit kannst du ein Auto putzen. Hier ist schon arg viel geschlossen worden. Alles zu. Drüben genauso.
Walking down the streets of Phu Quoc was quite an underwhelming experience since the pandemic had taken a hefty toll on the town. Most of the businesses were closed and the whole place felt pretty deserted. But if there is a beach, you know where to find me. And since there was no one around in the hostel by the time I wanted to leave, I went out on my own.
Wie sauber dieser Strand ist.
Phu Quoc is unmissably famous for kitesurfing.
1 Million Kitesurfer unterwegs. Also $200 kosten 5 Stunden Kurs, 2 Tage. Aber nee, nicht diesmal. Geisterstadt hier.
Thank you. No, thank you.
Ja, eine Geisterstadt, die seinesgleichen sucht hier. Ich bin jetzt so 1,5 Kilometer oder was weitergelaufen. Immer noch dasselbe Bild. Alles tot. Rollen runter, nirgends Menschen. Das habe ich mir ein bisschen anders vorgestellt. Aber Farbe habe ich bekommen heute. Alter Schwede. Naja, machen wir das Beste draus, ne? Cheers! Alter, jetzt bin ich den ganzen Weg hierher gelaufen und die machen um 12 zu. Es ist 20 vor 12 jetzt. Ist eh nichts los. Knaller, soll halt nicht sein, ne? Dragon Beach, nice Location, aber beide Male, wo ich hier war, nichts los gewesen. Es ist jetzt kurz vor 12. Zu. Hab auch keinen rauskommen sehen. Schade. Ach, offensichtlich bin ich irgendwie 3,5 Kilometer in eine Richtung gelaufen. Es ist alles tot. Wir laufen die ganze Scheiße wieder zurück, ne? The Walking Back. Neue Serie auf Netflix. Da ist so ein Mini-Gecko von meinen Füßen. Ist der nicht süß?
The next day, I decided to move on, but figured out I had to book the bus 1 day in advance. So I just chilled at the beach in the afternoon and got my ticket sorted for the next morning.
Das ist ja eine ganz normale Abendbeschäftigung.
And before I forget, here are some facts about the country. Vietnam has a population of around 97.5 million people. Nguyen is the most common last name in the entire country. The Vietnamese New Year, called Tet, is in February. Vietnam has more than 3,200 kilometers of coastline. Local currency is the Vietnamese dong, with an exchange rate of 23,500 dong to $1. My travel continues as I got on a bus into the mountains to visit the beautiful city of Dalat again. Like Phi in Thailand, this place magically attracts me somehow.
Guck mal, Ernst, du kennst die Ecke noch? Ja, hier haben wir damals immer abgehangen. Ja, gibt's da nicht mehr, aber das gelbe Geschäft hier, Barco, das war das wohl, meinte sie.
Since the weather here was way cooler, I decided to meet up with two Dutch backpackers I just got to know on the bus ride here. Together we wanted to go somewhere inside, and so I recommended going to the Maze Bar.
Ganz normale Straße hier, oder was?
The Maze Bar still is a must-see, even for second-time visitors like me. There is just no other bar like this.
The way we came up was right here. The only thing that can pull you up is think formed like a dick. That's the way up.
The main attraction unmistakably is the maze, which leads to the bar itself. Not so much the standard drinks like Fanta with vodka or gin tonic. The various artistically designed stair sets either lead nowhere or up.
This one splits in two more. Yeah, but we made it, we're here. We conquered the Maze Bar. So you guys like it?
I think it's awesome. Great bar.
Great bar?
Yeah.
And so we had some nice conversations before the guys called it a night. The next morning, I wanted to explore the streets of Dalat a little without a designated destination and just see what I come across. Dalat is such a colorful city, and the surrounding farmlands provide the city with a huge variety of vegetables, fruits and flowers.
Hier ist irgendwie ein Blumenfest oder so demnächst. Alles ist geschmückt.
Walking a little further, I stumbled into a corner I vividly remember.
Ich glaube, an der Verzweigung war das damals bei dem Fernseher, den sie transportiert haben.
It is very impressive what Asian people are capable of fitting onto their motorbikes.
Die beiden Damen da arbeiten wohl für die Müllabfuhr. In diesem scheiß Steinkaff machen die das einfach zu Fuß.
Despite attracting more than 7 million tourists in 2022, Dalat has maintained its local charm.
Für Meeresfrüchte und Fisch. Das ist nur leider nichts für mich. Krabben jeglicher Art. Das sind sogar Kraken oder Oktopus. Hier werden die Erdbeeren angeboten. Jede liebevoll einzeln verpackt. Die Pralinen.
By now the night market was already set up, and so I decided to take a closer look.
Hello.
Oh, hier ist Night Market.
I really like this tradition of night markets. It makes the cities and towns come alive in the evening hours.
Kommst du auch schon 10 Meter vor, riechen die Dinger.
I take in the last moments I get to spend in the city before moving on the upcoming day. We're leaving Dalat to make our way further north across the country. From Hanoi we make our way to the natural heritage of Halong Bay and visit the beautiful Trang Ang complex around the Ninh Binh area. So don't miss out and tune in on the next episode of Vagabond.